The NBA has some rules that sound too crazy to be real. You can literally get ejected just for laughing. There's a rule banning players from touching themselves during celebrations. And one rule, it only exists in case an entire team disappears. Yeah, the NBA is wild. These are the 10 most insane rules in basketball history. At first, the no shatter rule. Shaq wasn't just dunking. He was tearing down rims like they were made of paper. Back in the 90s, every time Shaq threw down a powerful dunk, there was a chance the entire hoop wouldn't survive.
Give me your best. Let me see your best. Is that all you got?
He shattered backboards multiple times, sending glass flying everywhere and stopping games for long delays. It got so bad that the NBA had to step in before someone got seriously hurt. So in 1993, they introduced a rule. And let's just say, Shaq was a big reason why. If you break the backboard, your points don't count. And instead of celebrating, you get a technical foul. Yep, Shaq dunked so hard, the NBA made it illegal. Imagine throwing down the most dominant slam of your life, and the refs hit you with a foul. Only Shaq could make dunking a crime. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear about the rule that bans NBA players from laughing at referees. You can literally get kicked out of an NBA game just for laughing. Sounds ridiculous, right? Just ask Tim Duncan. Back in 2007, the Spurs were playing the Mavericks when referee Joey Crawford lost his mind. Duncan was sitting on the bench, not even in the game, when he started laughing at a call. Crawford wasn't having it. He hit Duncan with a technical foul, just for chuckling. Duncan, still confused, laughed again. Boom. Ejected.
This is when Duncan's out of the game. He's thrown Duncan out of the game.
Yep. An NBA superstar got tossed out of a game for having a good time on the bench, and Crawford? He later admitted he did it on purpose because he thought Duncan was mocking him. This moment exposed an unwritten rule in the NBA. Never make a referee feel embarrassed. If they think you're showing them up, they have the power to throw you out, no questions asked. But that's not the only time the NBA stepped in to control player behavior. In fact, one celebration got so out of hand, the league had to ban it completely. It all started with Sam Cassell. Back in the 2004 playoffs, Cassell hit a clutch shot and broke out a celebration that instantly became infamous. The big balls dance. You know the one, hands low, wide stance, acting like he's carrying something huge. Fans loved it. Players started copying it. The NBA? Not so much. They officially cracked down on the move, labeling it obscene and handing out fines to anyone who tried it. Even LeBron James wasn't safe. He got hit with a $15,000 fine for doing it in 2021. So while the move lives on in basketball culture, pulling it off in an NBA game, it'll cost you. And believe it or not, this isn't even the weirdest ban the NBA has handed out, because one player was so obsessed with chewing straws, the league had to step in. NBA players have weird habits, but Karen Butler took it to another level. For years, Butler had a strange in-game ritual. He would chew on plastic straws during timeouts on the bench and even while playing.
This is a McDonald's straw.
Yeah, that's what we brought that specifically for you.
How could you tell that was McDonald's?
I know McDonald's straws. Trust me, I've been in this game a long time.
He claimed it helped him focus. Problem? The NBA wasn't having it. In 2010, the league officially banned players from chewing straws during games, citing safety concerns. Apparently, they were worried he might choke mid-play or set a bad example for younger fans. And while banning straws seems bizarre, it's nothing compared to the rule the NBA created in case an entire team disappears. It sounds like something out of a movie, but the NBA actually has a plan in place in case an entire team vanishes. Back in 1960, the Minneapolis Lakers were on a flight that nearly ended in disaster. The team's plane got caught in a brutal snowstorm, lost power, and was forced to make an emergency landing in a cornfield. They barely made it out alive. That close call made the NBA think, what if an entire team died in a tragedy? So, they created the disaster draft rule, a rule that allows the league to hold an emergency draft if 5 or more players on a team are killed or severely injured. The affected team would be allowed to select players from other NBA teams to rebuild their roster. Luckily, this rule has never been used, but the fact that the NBA even had to consider something this extreme shows how unpredictable the world of sports can be. And speaking of unexpected rules, did you know the NBA actually had to ban players from tweeting during games? Some NBA players are addicted to Twitter, so much that the league had to step in and stop them. So in 2009, they introduced a Twitter ban that made it illegal for players to post during games, team workouts, practices. Break the rule, expect a fine. And if your tweets were offensive or controversial, The punishment was even worse, but let's be real. Some players still push the limits, and while Twitter can be distracting, it's not nearly as bizarre as the time the NBA had to ban farting, and it's all because of Dwight Howard. During his time with the Orlando Magic, Howard was known for being one of the league's biggest pranksters, but his favorite joke? Unleashing farts in the locker room. Constantly. Teammates complained, reporters noticed, and it got so bad that the Magic had to step in.
Damn. Oh, no!
They created an official team rule banning farting during team meetings and other activities. Howard didn't deny it. He actually bragged about being the best farter in NBA history.
He farted. I'm sorry, somebody let one loose. Smell like sour milk.
And just when you thought the NBA rulebook couldn't get any stranger, wait until you hear about the number no player is allowed to wear. Of all the numbers in basketball history, there's one you will never see on an NBA jersey: 69. And the reason? Well, you already know why. In 2000, Dennis Rodman signed with the Dallas Mavericks. And of course, he requested to wear number 69. Mavericks owner Mark Cuban didn't mind at all. In fact, he found it funny, but the NBA, not a chance. Commissioner David Stern shut it down immediately, forcing Rodman to pick a different number. Frustrated, he went with number 70 instead, but the whole situation didn't sit well with him. He ended up playing only 12 games for the Mavericks before parting ways. While Cuban didn't get to see Rodman wear number 69 on the court, he kept a custom 69 jersey in his office as a joke. But while banning a jersey number might seem excessive, wait till you hear about the time an NBA team got in trouble for trolling an opposing player during a game. NBA players trash talk all the time, but in 2022, the Sacramento Kings took it to a whole new level. During a game against the Los Angeles Lakers, the Kings arena DJ started playing the song Cold as Ice every time Russell Westbrook missed a shot. And let's be honest, he missed a lot that night.
Fox get off early.
What made that possession so good for them offensively?
How it happens when Fox pushes tempo, great things happen.
If you run with him, if you run with Tyree.
Gotta finish the possession with a defensive rebound. That's the guy you want shooting. And the
Fans loved it. The internet went crazy, but the NBA, not amused. The league quickly stepped in and banned teams from using arena sound systems to troll players. But while trolling opponents got banned, did you know the NBA once had a rule where you weren't even allowed to dribble? Believe it or not, there was a time when dribbling wasn't allowed in basketball. Back in the 1890s, when the game was first invented, basketball had some of the strangest rules imaginable. Players couldn't dribble. They had to stand still and pass the ball to a teammate. The hoop wasn't even a hoop. It was a literal fruit basket with no hole in the bottom, so someone had to climb a ladder every time a player scored. Eventually, dribbling was introduced, but even then, players were only allowed one bounce before passing. It wasn't until the 1900s that continuous dribbling became legal, shaping the game into what we know today. Imagine watching an NBA game now with no dribbling, no crossovers, no handles, no fast breaks, just players standing around passing the ball. It's safe to say some NBA rules were made for a reason, while others are just downright insane. And this last rule? Yep, I have the bonus one for subscribers, of course, so you know what to do. It's already changing the game. For years, flopping has been one of the most frustrating parts of basketball. Players exaggerate contact, throw themselves to the floor, and trick referees into calling fouls. Fans hate it, coaches hate it, and in 2023, the NBA finally decided to do something about it. The league introduced a new in-game flopping penalty, meaning if a player flops mid-game, referees can penalize them immediately. The opposing team gets a free throw and possession. Players caught flopping can also face fines. Some of the biggest names in the NBA have been called out for flopping over the years: LeBron, Harden, and even Luka. But will this rule actually stop flopping, or just give referees even more power to control the game? Anyway, some players don't just follow the rules, they make their own, and no one did it better than Larry Bird. So watch this video right now to see some of the stories behind his greatness.